Hello and welcome back to top10lists.org, where you get a world of knowledge in 10 simple points. We have another episode involving art. This one's about top 10 art pieces created on the human body. Something that I can appreciate, especially on the female form. Let's go ahead and start at number 10 with two faces. One woman was made to face the other woman, who was placed upside down. The woman who was on the right had her armpit painted to make it look like an eye and her breast look like a nose. Her lips extended beyond her belly button. The woman on the left had her neck painted to look like a pair of lips, and one eye was made on her pelvic bone. Very, very interesting piece. Number 9 is the human wall. A wallpaper with an intricate pattern was chosen for this painting. A woman was painted from head to toe with the same colors and the pattern that was duplicated on the wall perfectly. She was then told to stand against the wall, and she blended in so well that people were quite startled to find that a woman was part of the picture at all. Number 8 is the hand bird. This time, a woman was chosen for this art piece created on the human hand. She was told to bend it at the wrist and cross the middle finger over the index, which was meant to be the bird's beak. The gap that was made between the thumb and the index finger was painted in to look like an eye, and the rest of the hand was red, green, and blue, the body of an exotic bird. Number 7 is two wallpapers. Two women were made to stand against a rose-patterned wallpaper. Their dresses were painted on, and their umbrellas were duplicated to imitate the pattern. A hole was made into the wall to make it seem as though they were coming out of the plaster when in fact they were merging into it. Number 6 is the human window. A woman was told to stand next to an old window which had a moss green frame. A part of this frame was removed, and similar color was used to paint onto the woman. A few cracks were painted on as well to make it look real. Number 5 is the giraffe. A giraffe was painted onto a man's hand, and he was told to fold his fingers in. The index and pinky fingers were painted white and were meant to be the ears, while the nose was painted onto the wrist. Number 4 is a woman holding a baby. A woman was painted blue and green, and her right breast was painted a skin color. The baby was drawn on top of it, and her hand was placed in such a way that it seemed that she was holding the baby. Number 3 is the man with two faces. One half of a man's face was painted in such a way that it seemed as though he had two faces. His right eye was the left eye of the other face, and the other nose was in line with his own. Number 2 is walking money. A beautiful woman was chosen to present this piece of art. The area that was painted extended beyond her collarbone to her thighs. The color used was that of money, which made her seem like a walking, talking $1 bill. And last but not least on the list is Gemini at number 1. This piece of body art has been named Gemini. The woman chosen for the job was painted in such a way that her arms and breasts were sky blue, while two babies were painted onto her legs. She sat with her knees pulled to her chest in such a way that looked like she was holding the babies. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Top 10 Art Pieces created on the human body. If you enjoyed, click subscribe and join us again for another episode of Top 10 List.